Over the past decade or so, Nigeria has seen a global trend in the cybercrime and internet fraud. In fact, the country has ranked high in the world for the most internet fraudsters who makes a living scamming others. But sometimes their luck runs out. So let's look at 10 biggest cyber criminals and internet fraudsters caught. Starting at number 10, we have Zlatan Ibile, a name that might not ring as many bells as some others on this list, but it's definitely made a mark in the cybercrime world. Zlatan has led a notorious group of fraudsters that the Nigerian Police Forces Cybercrime Center busted in Edo State in 2023. The police confirmed the arrest of 10 suspects in connections with cybercriminal syndicates. This crackdown was part of their efforts to combat the rising cyber threats targeting the banking and financial sectors, as well as unsuspecting members of the public. The Nigerian Police Force nationwide, the Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center has been proactive in tackling these issues, focusing on threats like high-yield investment fraud schemes. The operation was a significant step in addressing the increasing cyber threats that have been wreaking havoc on the financial sector and scamming the public. Zlatan Ibile, despite not being as widely known as other criminals, played a key role in these fraudulent activities. This group's tactics, particularly the use of cloned banking websites, pose serious risks to both financial institutions and individuals, highlighting the evolving nature of the criminal of the cybercrime in Nigeria. Next up at number 9, we have one of Nigeria's most talked about cyber criminals, Badmos Akeem, better known as B-Osha. He's a prominent figure in the music industry, having been around for over a decade. B-Osha founded Osha Empire, a record label that has been a big player in promoting Afro beats. You might know him for his popular tracks like Timbalo, Angeli, Fidik Bamai featuring Reminisce, and Talon She with Small Doctor. On top of his music career, he's also dabbled in acting, with his biggest role being in the 2018 movie The Ghost and the Tout. B-Osha has worked with notable actors like Toyin Abraham. This net worth is estimated at $20 million, and he owns numerous properties and assets, but most of his wealth have come under serious scrutiny. Back in 2022, he and some other Nigerian show promoters based in Dubai made headlines for the wrong reasons. They were allegedly arrested by UAE security operatives and drug smuggling. The group includes Millie Hustle, Obinna Anozie, and Olofin Sniper. It's rumored that their accomplices were also caught. B-Osha, known for his connection with many Nigerian celebrities, was busted by the FBI in Dubai. The charges against him include financial fraud, commonly referred to as Yahoo, and drug trafficking. Although Dubai authorities didn't release an official statement about their arrest, the buzz on social media suggests it happened. Comments on their social media pages seem to confirm that the arrest did indeed occur. At number 8, we have another major player in the world of cybercrime in Nigeria, Oluwapopoola, better known as Opa 6. This guy is a big name in Nigerian music scene. He's from Abeokuta, Ogun State, and runs the 6 Empire record. Over the years, he's earned praise from hip-hop artists like Olamide. Besides being a socialite and entrepreneur, Opa 6 is also a recording and performing artist. His name has popped up in songs by several Nigerian musicians such as Reminisce, Nice, and Small Doctor. But Opa 6 fame isn't just from music. Back in 2021, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission declared him and 4 others wanted for internet-related fraud and other serious charges. Alongside Opa 6, the FCC named 3 others connected to him. They were accused of criminal conspiracy and obtaining money by false pretense. The FCC made it clear and displayed his picture alongside his accomplices. This wasn't the first time Opa 6 was on EFCC's radar. In November 2019, the commission mentioned they would need a petition to start an investigation against him, Hushpuppi, B-Osha, after a Twitter user suggested it. This all came to a head following the release of Nice hit track Living Things, which seemingly glorify their lifestyle. At number 7, we have the famous Olalekan Jacob Ponle, better known as Mr. Woodberry, one of the most infamous Nigerian cyber criminals. This guy was living large in Dubai with an alleged net worth of over $7.8 million, making him one of the wealthiest Yahoo boys around. Dubai has become a hotspot for wealthy Nigerian experts, and Mr. Woodberry was no exception. He was part of an elite circle, rubbing shoulders with other rich and famous Nigerians like Hushpuppi. These guys weren't just known for their wealth, but also flaunting it the most extravagant way. Mr. Woodberry boasted about acquiring some serious luxurious cars. He got himself a 2019 Lamborghini Urus worth over $200,000 and a 2019 Rolls-Royce Black Badge Dawn. This swing collection even caught the attention of Nigerian superstar Davido, who couldn't help but admire his taste and the hefty price tag on these cars. But all this showboating eventually caught up with him. Mr. Woodberry was arrested by Dubai police and later pleaded pleaded guilty to fraud charges in the US. He agreed to forfeit $8 million in fraud proceeds, along with his luxurious cars and watches. Initially, Mr. Woodberry had pleaded not guilty to the 8-count fraud charge for engaging in business email compromise schemes. However, by April 6, he changed his tune, pleading guilty to 1 count. According to his plea agreement, he had to repay the $8 million he scammed from 7 companies. The forfeited luxury items including a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, a Lamborghini Urus, a Mercedes-Benz G-Class, and several high-end watches like Rolex, Patek Philippe, and Audemars Piguet. He also had to give up gold and diamond-studded jewelries. To top it off, he had already forfeited a good number of Bitcoin, which was worth millions of dollars to the American government as part of the effort to recover his ill-gotten gains. Mr. Woodberry was arrested in Dubai on June 10, 2020, alongside his partner in crime, Raymond Hushpuppi Abbas, who we will see later on. At number 6, we have one of the biggest cyber criminals and the internet fraudster caught in Nigeria, Pope Olusegun Aroke, also known as Fisher. Pope was an undergraduate in Malaysia when he and 3 others, Ibrahim Garuba, Tafida Gano Investment Limited, and Oyin Limited, were charged with false assets declaration, conspiracy, and conversion of $55 million, about $150,000. Aroke faced multiple charges, initially 3 false assets declaration, and later he and his co-accused faced 4 counts of conspiracy and fund conversion. But even prison couldn't stop Fisher. Aroke already served a 24-year sentence at Kirikiri Maximum Security Prison in Lagos, became notorious once again. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission discovered he was the brain behind the new scam worth over $1 million, orchestrated from behind bars. He was arrested in 2012, but somehow he still had access to the internet in prison. He managed this scam with the help from outside accomplices. EFCC was puzzled by how he could continue his fraudulent activity while incarcerated. They found out that Aroke had access to a mobile phone and the internet, which is against standard prison practices. Adding to the mystery, Aroke got himself admitted to the Nigerian Police Hospital in Lagos for an undisclosed ailment. From there, he would sneak out to stay in hotels, meet his family, and attend social events. Further investigations revealed that Aroke used a fake name, Akeem Sorimade, to open accounts with First Bank and Guarantee Trust Bank. He also bought a property at Fountain Spring Estate, Lekki, for $22 million at that time, and a 2018 Lexus RX 350 registered in his wife's name. In prison, he even had access to his wife's bank account token, which he used to transfer funds freely. During his trial in 2015, he bought a 4-bedroom duplex in Lekki for 48 million naira. Aroke's arrest in 2012 was dramatic. He and another Malaysian-based Nigerian undergraduate were nabbed at the 1004 housing estate in Victoria Island, Lagos, thanks to a tip-off. Aroke, claiming to be a computer science student at Kuala Lumpur Metropolitan University, was actually the leader of a complex internet fraud scheme spanning 2 continents. When EFCC operatives searched his apartment, they found laptops, iPads, travel documents, checkbooks, flash drives, an internet modem, and 3 luxury cars, a Mercedes-Benz Jeep, a Formatic Mercedes-Benz, and a Range Rover Sport SUV. At number 5, we have Omoniyi Temidayo Raphael, known professionally as Zlatan Ibile. This Nigerian rapper and singer is the CEO and founder of Zanku Records. His big break came in 2014 when he won the Airtel-sponsored One Mic Talent Show in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Zlatan made waves towards the end of 2018 with his single Zanku, which introduced a new dance routine of the same name. The debut studio album released on November 3rd, 2019 was also titled Zanku, an acronym for Zlatan Abeg Not Kill Us. He gained even more exposure through his collaboration with Shinko, Ekun, and Lil Kesh on the 2018 single Able God. Soon after, he released Zanku and followed up with the Davido-assisted track Osanle. In early 2019, he dropped Glory and featured on Burna Boy's Killing Them, a track from Burna Boy's 4th studio album, African Giant. That same year, he was featured on the Caesar Mills Flenjo and Naira Marley's controversial song Am I a Yahoo Boy. On July 26, 2019, Zlatan announced he has signed an endorsement deal with Coca-Cola. But before all this fame, Zlatan had a run-in with the law. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in Lagos arrested Zlatan and fellow musician Hafiz Fashola, also known as Naira Marley, in connection with alleged internet fraud and money laundering. Intelligence reports linked them to cybercrime offenses. According to a top source at the EFCC who spoke to Sahara Reports, the agency seized their laptops and phones to conduct forensic investigation to determine their links to cybercrime. The source also mentioned that the EFCC was investigating the 2 artists for songs and comments that seem to glorify cybercrime, with Am I a Yahoo Boy being the most notable notable example. Speaking of which, in our number 4, we have Azeez Adesina Fashola, better known as Naira Marley. The British Nigerian singer, songwriter, and rapper is famously the president of the controversial Malians fan base. While growing up, Naira Marley initially aimed to become an MC and a voice-over artist. However, his passion for the music took over in 2013, and with encouragement from friends in Peckham, he began rapping. Naira Marley's early music career saw him releasing the Mark Twigs assisted track Marijuana and his debut EP Got to Dance in 2014. Fast forward to December 2017, he dropped the single Isago featuring Olamide and Lil Kesh, which became a theme song for the Super Eagles at the 2018 FIFA World Cup. In 2019, Naira Marley released the Zlatan assisted track Am I a Yahoo Boy and was arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on the same day. This event marked the beginning of a notable chapter in his life. On May 10, 2019, the EFCC arrested Naira Marley alongside Zlatan, Tiamiu Kayode, Adewumi, Adeyanju, Moses, Michael Takish, Adenuga, and Abubakar Musa just a day after the Am I a Yahoo Boy video was released. While Zlatan and 3 others were released after 5 days, Marley remained in custody due to substantial evidence against him. On May 16, 2019, Naira Marley was charged with 11 counts of fraud by the EFCC in the Federal High Court, Ikoyi, Lagos. While he was still in prison, Zlatan released the single 4 Nights in a Kotibo, discussing his experience and support from the industry. Marley pleaded not guilty, awaited a bail hearing. On the day of his bail hearing, Marley released the song Why, accompanied by an image of him in handcuffs. He was granted 2 million naira bail and released on June 14, 2019. Shortly after, he dropped the track Sopi, which controversially described the sexual habits of inmates. In October 2019, Naira Marley returned to court to face his charges, with the case later adjourned to February 27, 2020, after an EFCC witness testified against him. Despite the legal troubles, Naira Marley's career has continued to thrive, making him one of the most talked about figures in the Nigerian music scene. At number 3, we have Abiola Ayinde, also known as ABK Ginger, one of Nigeria's most notorious cyber criminals. This man is on the FBI's radar for his alleged role in a massive business email compromise scheme that ripped over 70 businesses in the United States, resulting in more than $6 million in losses. Kayode isn't just a small thing scammer. He's accused of providing bank accounts to other fraudsters to these fraudulent wire transfers. But that's not all. He allegedly conducted BEC and romance fraud schemes himself. This guy was deep into it. On August 21st, 2019, Kayode, along with Felix, Silama, Akpo, and Nnamdi Osubensin, was indicted in the United States District Court for the District of Nebraska on charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. The very next day, a federal warrant was issued for his arrest. At number 2, Obinwanne Okeke, popularly known as Invictus Obi, born in Anambra State, Nigeria, Okeke was the 17th child of a polygamous father. He claimed that his early drive came from a desire to lift his mother, who was his father's 4th wife, out of extreme poverty. At just 16, while still living in his village, he started an IT company that printed business cards and created websites. With his first profit, he bought the finest bicycle in his village. Okeke's entrepreneurial journey led him to be named on Forbes Africa's 30 under 30 list in 2016. He was also a speaker at various prestigious events and a regular contributor to Forbes Africa magazine. His company, Invictus Group of Companies Limited, received several awards, including Africa's Most Innovative Investment Company of the Year 2017. He even handed out various scholarships to students. However, things took a dark turn in 2019. On August 6th, Okeke was arrested and charged with 2 counts of computer fraud and wire fraud. He and his syndicate had defrauded American citizens of up to $11 million through a massive coordinated business email compromise scheme. Following his arrest, the Federal High Court in Abuja ordered the temporary forfeiture of 280 million naira, approximately $800,000, found in his account to the Nigerian government. Okeke's arrest was part of a broader crackdown by the US Department of Justice, which indicted 80 other individuals, mostly Nigerian nationals, for various online fraud schemes. This operation was described as the largest case of online fraud in US history, with victims losing or potentially losing $40 million. The fallout from these arrests sparkled discussion about Nigeria's international image and the impact on young Nigerian entrepreneurs. Initially pleading not guilty, Okeke later changed his plea and on February 16, 2021 was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Before his arrest, Okeke was a global recognized businessman with investments in multiple sectors, including oil and gas, agriculture, private equity, alternative alternative energy, telecom, and real estate, operating under the Invictus Group in Nigeria, South Africa, and Zambia. He even held a master's degree in international business and counter-terrorism from Monarch University, Australia. Last but not the least, we have Raymond Abbas, also known as Hushpuppi or Ray Hushpuppi. He rose to fame as a Nigerian Yoruba national, primarily through his Instagram presence. But behind the flashy lifestyle and social media fame lies a tale of cybercrime and fraud. Hushpuppi's journey began with humble beginnings, reportedly starting as a second-hand clothes trader in Lagos. Despite his modest start, he quickly gained notoriety as a Yahoo boy, a local term for a cyber criminal. His extravagant spending on designer clothes and lavish lifestyle caught the attention of many, including the Nigerian singer Timaya, who indirectly called him out in his song Teleperson. However, Hushpuppi's downfall came in July 2020 when he was accused of conspiring to launder hundreds of millions of dollars. He was alleged to have been involved in a massive wire fraud scheme with fraudulent wire transfers totaling approximately $14.7 million. The US Department of Justice also accused him of aiding North Korean hackers in money laundering. Despite his initial denial, Hushpuppi eventually pleaded guilty to money laundering in July 2021. He even implicated a deputy commissioner of police in Nigeria, Abiola, in his scam deal. Following his revelation, a US court granted an FBI warrant to arrest Abiola. As his sentence approached, Hushpuppi penned a personal letter to the court expressing remorse for his action and apologizing to his family. However, on November 8, 2022, he was sentenced to over 11 years, which is 135 months in a federal prison for crimes. So if you enjoyed the video, kindly hit the subscribe button and like, then click on the end screen on your left towards the top 10 terrorist group to terrorize Nigeria.